Right then, let's talk about France, the reigning world champions. What are they bringing to this World Cup? What ridiculous squad are they bringing to this World Cup? And are they a team to be feared or a team that you can actually go for? Let's have a look at it. So they might be the reigning world champions. They might have the deep reserves of talent to call upon in Qatar even. But their performances in 2022 have highlighted some deep vulnerabilities with the French side. After an unbeaten 2021, which culminated in a Nations League final victory over Spain of all people, their latest Nations League campaign was underwhelming, winning only one game of 6 in a relatively gentle group that contained Croatia, Austria, and Denmark. Denmark and France now meet again in Group D during the World Cup, a group which also features Australia and Tunisia. It's one that France should win, if we're being honest with ourselves, but they will have a target on their back as reigning champions, and there will be pitfalls. Denmark will have no fear after their impressive 2-0 victory over the French in Copenhagen last month, while Australia and Tunisia both squeeze through playoff matches and will feel that they have got a free swing at this tournament, will come into it with absolutely nothing to lose, and both have got some exciting talents that might be able to get a result if everything goes their way. In terms of the squad, there's a lot to talk about really with the squad. Mönchengladbach striker Marcus Thuram and Monaco defender Axel Desai were called up to play at the World Cup with France, the French Federation said on Monday. The 25-year-old Thuram is a 26th player who will make the trip to Qatar, where France will look to retain their title. Desai made the squad after Paris Saint-Germain centre-half Kimpembe ruled himself out after a hamstring injury. Olivier Giroud was named in the squad as well, and Deschamps unveiled a 25-man group amid some injury concerns that he had. They haven't got Kante and they haven't got Paul Pogba, and that's just a couple of the players that aren't going for them. They've had... Look, they've got depth in the forward area, they've got depth in defence. I think Pogba and Kante are going to be massive, massive misses for them in the centre of the park. But they still have some absolutely ridiculous players to look out for, including in midfield. Now, they've lost experience in midfield, which might be a terrible thing coming into a tournament, but they have got some young and exciting players that are going. Up front, player to watch, Mbappe. Oh, really? Yeah, sorry. What did you want me to ignore the fact that they've got Mbappe playing for them? 19 goals, 5 assists, 20 games so far this season. Pace, finishing, skill, dribbling, whatever you want, he's got it. And he'll be coming into this World Cup thinking this is the one that I'm going to make all about me. He's still going to be the player that everyone's going to look to create damage on the opposition. He's still going to be the one that's going to take it on himself. I think a lot on his self-image needs repairing, to be honest, after the last 12 or so months and some of the stories that have been coming out about him in France. He almost decided to quit the national team recently. That was over a racism thing rather than the sort of PR stuff that's going on around him. But that was after the penalty that he missed in the shootout against Switzerland in the Euros, which caused France's elimination. But there's a lot going on around Mbappe. And he has the potential for it to be a distraction, but he's also got the potential to be the one that actually drags them over the line. Now, Aurélien Tchouameni, obviously a big breakout player. It's very hard to call someone that Real Madrid paid 80 million euros for someone with potential and someone on the up and up, because clearly you should already be arrived by the time Real Madrid put 80 million pound on the table for you. But it is his first World Cup. He's got a similar sort of style, albeit with differences to Kante. So, that interception kind of machine, that's what he's there for. Tackles, interceptions, being in the right place, stopping the attacks from the opposition, and could be vital now that Kante isn't going. He's been in and around the French team for a couple of years, but you think now he's the big man at Real Madrid. He's going to be given the nod to try and do what Deschamps needs him to do. This holiday season, I'll be giving thanks to our friends over at Manscaped and the return of football's biggest stage. My pride for my Dong squad and my country have never been stronger since Manscaped upgraded my grooming game with the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Avoid a Marwan Fellaini bush in your midfield and clean up your midsection with Manscaped. And join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer by going to manscaped.com. Use code Howson20 and getting free shipping and 20% off. Get amongst it. The rest of the squad has just got talent just running right through it. I mean, obviously they got Areola, they got Lloris, they got Hernandez, Theo and Lucas, Kanate, Koundé, Pavard, Saliba, Upamecano, Rafael Varane. In midfield, even though we think it's their weakest part, they've got Camavinga, they've got Fofana, they've got Guendouzi, they've got Rabiot, Tchouaméni. Like, the talent is an absolute joke. And then up front, what more do you want? Dembele, Giroud, Griezmann, Mbappe, Nkunku, Thuram, and Karim Benzema. If he can continue the sort of form that he's shown in the knockout stages of last year's Champions League, just lump on France. He's going nowhere else if that's going to be the case. But France will be in and around the favourites. They've obviously got tournament winning mentality, being the actual reigning champions, and they've not lost loads from the team that actually collected that. 7 players in the squad were key to the World Cup success in 2018 and are still the core of the current side. That experience is going to be huge because there's not a lot of good experience around in the other teams at this World Cup. The attack is probably the most impressive thing about them. With Mbappe and Benzema, the big game experience that you've got with Antoine Griezmann. You've even got Giroud is playing well at the moment, and then you've got a massive wild card who I think is a very exciting young player in Christopher Nkunku. He's got over 20 goals for RB Leipzig, and then obviously Tchouaméni in midfield is going to be a big one. That's probably going to look very good in a very good French side. In terms of weakness, you think the weakness is France can probably beat themselves. And I mean, France B team probably could be the team that is best equipped to beat France's A team. Their squad is so deep, it's ridiculous. But when I say France can beat themselves, they have a tendency to sort of fall out and implode at tournaments. If it goes right, it goes very, very right. But when it goes wrong, it's car crash. And I think some of the uncontrolled egos that they've got in that squad, some of the superstars of world football that they've got in that squad, it does have the tendency to go west for them. So I would say if they pull together, act and play like a team, no one should lay a glove on them. If not, if there's a weakness in the camp and it's attitude and ego, then they could get turned over by almost anybody. But Deschamps is known to use quite a robust system, trying to make everyone play their part in the team. If he fails to manage it or overcorrects some stuff, causes a problem in the dressing room, it could go west. But on the pitch, you've got stuff going on. Off the pitch, you've got Kylian Mbappe's priority of his image to the world, seemingly above everything. Pogba's reports of hiring a witch doctor to put a spell on Mbappe. Obviously, it was denied by him, but there were reports of it happening, and that was some of the stuff that was coming out with Pogba's brother, that he was hiring witch doctors all over the place. There's been a spat between Giroud and Benzema. These are things that can really derail a squad when togetherness is what wins tournaments. So the biggest threat to France is the French. Otherwise, this could be a very, very straightforward tournament for France to picking up the silverware. Listen, let me know in the comments who is winning this. And do you think it could be France? And is there anyone in the squad that you think, actually, Steve, you probably glossed over him a bit quick there? I think he's going to be the one. I mean, we haven't even touched on Dembele, and the guy is absolutely shitting goals at the moment, playing really well. So, this is a team that could hurt you in a lot of ways. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.